Y'all have heard me rant about social media a few times here, but I want to talk about fake social media validation. If you watch that documentary, Social Dilemma, they really break down a lot of stuff in that documentary on Netflix about what's going on with the world right now. But let me tell you what inspired this topic. So, about 3 months ago or so, I had a situation happen on Twitter or whatever, and somebody was making fun of me or whatever, not really a big deal or anything, and I was seeing people replying saying that I got ratioed. Now, I'm a 36-year-old man, so I don't know what the fuck ratioing means. So I had to ask one of my younger friends, I'm like, what do you mean when you get ratioed? And they told me, like, oh, well, ratioing is when somebody gets more likes and retweets than you, and I'm like, really? I'm like, so that person is gloating about getting more likes and retweets than me, even though I could have easily retweeted what I was saying and I would have destroyed them out of the water. But that's not the point here. The point is that I had a hard time wrapping my head around this concept where people are seeking ratioing. And let me explain to you where I'm going with this. So, if you get a lot of likes on Twitter and retweets, unless you're a brand account who is doing things to promote a brand and it somehow equals something to your bottom line, somebody like me who's a businessman is going to look at you and think you're a fucking clown. What good is getting likes and retweets on Twitter when it doesn't put $1 in your fucking pocket? Because I'm a businessman. I do YouTube for business. I enjoy doing it. I have fun doing it. And I do it also, I do these videos not for business. This is to help people, right? And to give my thoughts on things. But my whole thing is I treat my YouTube channel, especially Geekdom 101, as a business. You know, it's one that I have registered as a business. I pay taxes on it. It's a corporation. It's a business to me. And so to me, having a lot of likes on social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, even Facebook, doesn't mean a goddamn thing in the real world. It means nothing in the real world. And that brings me to my topic about social media validation. How many times do you go on Instagram and you see this girl or a guy, either one, but a lot of girls do this, and it's a picture of themselves. They got all kinds of Instagram filters on, all kinds of makeup on, and you know if they take those filters off, they look like fucking Tasmanian tree biters. You know this. And so it's a fake picture. It's usually a picture of them. Because if you've ever been around a real person, bro, who does this, they take like 50 pictures and they pick the one that's the best one. Ew, that one's ugly. Ew, they always pick the best one, the best looking one, even though it may not be a reflection of what they actually look like. And they put it on Instagram, and a bunch of thirsty ass dudes leave their likes. Oh, you're so sexy. You're so hot. Look at that ass. You know how, y'all know what I'm talking about. And the scary part about that is it might make them feel good in the moment, but it's so fake because it's not the real you. It's one photo of you. And even if you are attractive, which is a good thing, it's not really you 24/7, because a girl can put on makeup and use Instagram filters and look pretty, but when she wakes up in the morning, she got that badass breath. You know what I'm saying? She got broccoli stuck in her teeth. That's the real girl. An old saying that I would always say is, it's not who you go to bed with, it's who you wake up with in the morning. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is that we're all humans. We all have bad breath. We all fart. We all shit. We all piss. We're all pretty damn disgusting, right? So when you look at things from that perspective, it changes your view of the world. That's why I have a different viewpoint of the world, because people post things on Facebook, whether it be a cry for help, whether it be something they're proud of, to seek validation, which is fine. But the reality is, the older I get, the more I come to realize that there's no point in getting validation on the internet because it's not real anyways. It's from people who you don't know. Why do you care about what people who you don't know care about you? You shouldn't. None of you should, including me. Now, we can be friends and we can talk and we can have discussions like we do in the comment section. That's different. But if you're really trying to make yourself feel better, that means there's something wrong internally with you. You should have your own self-love. You should have your own self-esteem to know that even if you don't look ugly on Monday, that you're still a handsome dude the other 6 days of the week. That you still have something to bring to the table. This whole video is about how the internet is filled with lies. People will only show you what they want you to see. You know what I mean? If you go to Instagram, you're going to see the best possible pictures of a girl. You won't see her when she's taking a dump or the stretch marks. You ain't going to see that, will you? How often do you see that? If you go to Twitter, you're going to see people, oh, I'm so happy. I love my life. Are they really? Or is that just what they want you to see? I have seen situations where I've been witness to breakups, friends of mine doing breakups, and one of the people's on Twitter like freaking, oh my God, I'm having the time of my life, I'm so happy. Every night they're crying themselves to sleep. The internet is fake, homie. See what I'm saying? It is fake. And you gotta trust me on this one. It is not real. So because people don't ever put their real selves out there, it's one of those things where this is why I kind of, number one, I hate cancel culture, because cancel culture is ultimately hypocrisy, because most of the people who are doing the canceling have done as bad, if not worse things. We know that because I know how the human species works, number one. Number two, this is why I don't like social media validation, because it builds up this fake ego. Oh, well, I have this many followers, that means I'm this great. And I've said things like this in the past, and I'm ashamed of me to say it. I am not that person anymore, yo. Because ultimately, as far as the way I treat things now, if it doesn't help out my business, if it doesn't help out what I'm trying to do with my message, it doesn't even matter to me anymore. See what I'm saying? So like for me, my goal is to retire early. I want to retire before I turn 50. I have a long way to go. I am not anywhere close to 50 right now. But my goal is to eventually get to a point where I have my dividend portfolio paying for all my bills. And I'm going to get there. I know I'm going to get there. I'm building it up right now as we speak, but I'm not quite there yet to where I can just stop uploading forever. I want to get to that point, right? That's my ultimate goal, is to have my dividend portfolio pay for all of my bills. That takes time. That takes time to build up. Unless you're filthy rich already, it takes time to build up. So my goal is to focus on that. And if something does not help me achieve that goal, there's just no point in even doing it unless it's to inspire others. Because my goal here is not just to eventually retire young, but to also help other people retire young. And by the way, when I say 50, I might make it by the time I'm 40 or even 45. But I'm saying 50 to be a little bit more realistic, because we really don't know what's going to happen with the world, right? Things change all the time. So like we're being kind of long-term goal here. I'd say 50 to be safe. It'll probably be sooner than that. But the point is, actually it will be sooner than that. But the point is that like when you're on social media, right, and you're just seeking ratios, I'm just like, what tangible, how is that tangibly meaningful in the real? It doesn't mean shit. You can't go for a job interview and say, hey, I got 2,000 likes on my Twitter, hire me. It doesn't work that way, dog. How much are you going to impress a girl if you say, hey, I got 1,500 retweets the other day? Oh, I really want to fuck you now. It doesn't mean anything, yo. It means nothing. If that helps out your business, if it helps out your purpose, then yes, it could mean something. But remember, it's all fake validation. Ladies, when a guy's nice to you on the internet and he doesn't even know you, he just wants to fuck you. He's masturbating thinking about you. That's the truth. I mean, it is a fact. Guys do that shit all the time. They fantasize. He doesn't care about you as a person because he doesn't know you. If he got to know you, it'd be a different story. He doesn't know anything about you. It's fake validation. And so I think we have to, as a people, and no one's going to listen to me when I say this except for maybe you guys, but we have to disconnect the reality from the internet, because people on the internet will only show you what they want you to see. Oh, it's all happy times when it's really not, or it's all sad times, or somebody says, I'm depressed. When somebody posts on Twitter or on Facebook that they're depressed or they're sad, what they're actually doing is they're crying for help. They want somebody to say, feel better, or they want validation. Oh, don't worry about it, it'll get better. I'm here for you. That's what they want, when what they really need is a friend, an actual friend, to be there and pull them out of that rut and be like, yo, let's go out. Let's go have a bite to eat. That's what people really need. real friendship. And I'm not saying that internet friendships cannot be real friendships, because I have lots of internet friends that are real friends, but we're talking about in the global scope that is the internet. We're talking about your followers, not your friends. There is a big difference here. Like, the reality is, and don't take this the wrong way, but even though I care about you guys, I don't really know all of you. I know some of you, but I don't know all of you. For all we know, you might be terrible people. For all you know, I might be a terrible person. Some people think I am. But the reality is, when you look at things from a mature, objective perspective, you know that every human being on earth is good and bad. And you can't be all good and you can't be all bad, and you ain't always going to be hot. If this girl is hot now, wait till she has 2 or 3 kids. Or when she turns 50, then what? She'll be sagging. It happens. We age as people. So once you accept that and kind of break out of it, you come to humanize everybody and realize that not only are we all equals, but we're all flawed. And if you remember that, it makes the world a lot easier to digest, and it makes life a lot more fun. And it also makes it to where you don't take things so personally, and where you can kind of understand that, okay, this guy's trolling me. He's obviously hurt. He's obviously bored. I'm not hurt. I'm not bored. I love my life. But this fucking guy must hate his because he's spending all his time being a dick to me. You know what I mean? I've done videos on that a bunch of times too. So what I wanted to just tell y'all is to watch The Social Dilemma and understand what's going on with the world, and understand that just because you're popular on the internet doesn't mean anything. Because there's people, I'm telling you right now, I know lots and lots of YouTubers, and the amount of depression that these guys have, because people tell me all the time, Danny, so many people love you. Well, they really don't love me. They love the content, they love the message, but they don't really know me to love me. And it doesn't make me feel better. If I'm going through a hard time, if I'm having a rough day, that might be a Band-Aid, possibly. But for somebody like me, it's not even that anymore, because getting a bunch of likes on social media is not going to change how I feel without having actual human interaction, or without having some actual self-reflection. So, look, I crammed a lot of stuff into this speakdom, all right? I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. Just dump them all out on this video and remind you that the internet's fake, and you really don't know somebody. You really don't know them until you know them. You don't know anything about that person. Just remember that. It's important. Good and bad. I will talk to you soon.